Hey, this is Andrea from Sequus. I need a mic.
You need a mic.
Cool, we're good now. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to hire a digital marketing company. I field a lot of questions from people who are looking to hire a digital marketing company, and that first point is determining your needs. So the way I like to do this the best is think about what your business objectives are for the next year or 2 years. And then start thinking about how you think digital marketing can apply to achieve those objectives. So maybe you're looking for SEO, PPC, PR if you have a reputation issue or a publicity issue, blogging or reporting. Try to figure out what the most effective things would be to accomplish that objective. And if you don't know, it's a really good idea to ask somebody in the industry. You can even ask me, and I'd be happy to help. Cool. Experience in your industry. And so a lot of companies will specialize in certain niches, and that's because they have found methods that work. They have little tips and tricks. They know what doesn't work. And so when you're looking for a digital marketing agency, it's important to try to find somebody who has some experience in your industry. Maybe it's home services. And they'll have some insight and some experience that will help you as you work towards those business objectives. So the next one, as I'm sure you do with anything that you go to buy online or any restaurant that you visit, you can read reviews online. Definitely do that with any marketing agency that you're considering. And also look at their portfolio. Most marketing agencies love to show off their work. And as you look through the portfolio, try to see, open up a bunch of tabs, see what their clients' sites look like, click through their websites, see how they're working, maybe even search for some of the terms that it looks like they're going after in those cities and see how they rank for those. And that's a really good way to just gauge how they're doing. And then another note on this is it's a really good idea to ask for referrals or references. And so you can ask them for the names of current or past clients that they might like to use as a reference. And you can call them, ask how they communicated, ask what the results were like. And a really good question to ask is, what could they have done better? Or what could they be doing better? And that'll be a really good way for you to figure out what kind of agency it is that you're dealing with. Next one is communication. This one is my favorite one. When you go and you start a partnership with a marketing agency, a digital marketing agency, communication is so important, and so often it's something that kind of is lagging from what I've heard. And so when you're interviewing a digital marketing agency, you want to ask, how often are you going to communicate with me? How will you communicate with me? Are you going to email me? Are you going to call me every time you work on my account and give me an update? How are you going to give me reports? How are we going to measure success? And by what method are those going to come, and how often should I expect to see those? Another one that you should probably ask is, since the digital marketing world is not perfect, sometimes we come across emergencies. Sometimes your website goes down or there's a problem. How will you communicate with your agency in those cases? Are they going to be really easy to get a hold of? For example, maybe they're not even in the same time zone. So those are all communication considerations to think about. Contracts. So contracts are standard when you sign on with a digital agency. So they're not something to be scared of. There's a couple things to look out for that I'll talk about. The first one is, make sure you're not locked in for a long period of time. It's okay in the beginning to be locked in for 90 or 120 days. The reason why companies do that is because it takes some time to get results and to kind of show you that return on your investment. After that, they should be earning your business every month, and if they're not, you should have the ability to cancel. So I would make sure that your contract is not like a year or 2 years, and that you can cancel at any time. The second one, retain ownership of your site. And so what we've seen a couple times is people will sign on with a digital agency and they will buy a domain for them and build a website real quick, which is awesome. It's a great way to get started. But sometimes what happens is the client essentially starts leasing that website from the company because the company owns it. And what happens when you try to leave is they retain ownership, and you could be left in the worst case scenario, I guess, without a website or domain name because you don't own it. And so I would make sure in the contract there's no verbiage stating that you're essentially leasing the website from a company, because that makes it really hard to leave. If your business objectives change or they're not getting the results, you want to have the freedom to take your website. My sixth point is cheaper is not always better. You get what you pay for, and that's especially true with digital marketing. And so I would encourage you to think about what exactly it is that you're paying for when you are looking to hire a digital marketing agency. You're paying for years of experience. You're paying for creativity. You're paying for their training and their hard work on your account. And so that doesn't come at a cheap price. I would also talk to the digital marketing agency about their systems and processes. Any reputable agency will have really solid systems and processes in place, and that will help them consistently deliver results to their clients. If they don't have those things, it's a little bit of a red flag, so I would make sure to just ask. And then the last point on this one is kind of beware of overseas agencies. Like, they can be cheap, and that's great, but you run into a couple issues sometimes with reliability or even reachability because you're on totally different time zones. And so you get what you pay for, and try to keep that in mind as you're working out your marketing budget. Partnership. So ultimately, when you're hiring a digital marketing agency, you're doing it because you want, hopefully, to start a long-term partnership that's mutually beneficial for both parties. And so look for an agency that really wants the same thing, because the longer you guys are together, the more understanding they're going to have of your business, which means they're going to be more effective in helping you achieve your business objectives. And while you're interviewing companies, pay attention to the questions that they ask you. So a reputable company will be concerned with making sure that they find ideal clients that they can communicate with that will be long-term. And so they'll ask you questions about what it is that you're looking for, what kind of relationship that you're going to have, and what your goals are long-term. So pay attention to that. And then the last point on this is